Hey, what's up, Valuable Coaching? Um, just coming on to check in, see how the week is starting off for people. Also wanted to give an update on some of the coaches that we've interviewed in the past. Actually got to start up playing volleyball again. And so wanted to be able to kind of let you know how they were doing so far once it started. And then give you a little preview of what's coming up this week with Valuable Coaching, both here on Instagram, on YouTube, and listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. So it was kind of exciting to see women's volleyball and some men's volleyball get started back up this past weekend. And it was really exciting to see some of the teams that we've been able to interview coaches for get back in action and see how they're doing this first time back after having all this time off and having limited practice time and trying to figure out how to deal with COVID, which a lot of them talked about if you go back to some of those interviews. So let's start off talking about Cal. We interviewed Coach Sam Crossan, and he gave us a lot of great insight. It was a long interview, but a lot of insight into how he used this time with his team, how he's growing his team, how he's been recruiting. And they got kind of a tough draw this first weekend. They had to deal with number 22 ranked UCLA. They went down, and unfortunately they lost both matches. But in the first match, they lost in 4 games. But the game they won went 39-37. Just an epic, long game, long second game of that match. So they obviously were there battling. They were ready to go down and do their very best to show a ranked team, a ranked opponent, what they had right away to start the season off. And that's a testament to what Sam's doing there and what they're trying to build. And so I'm sure they'll build off of those matches, and they'll have some other matches that aren't against quite as tough teams, and I'm sure they'll come out ahead. Unfortunately, our very first interview was Jason Borchin, and Coach Borchin gave us also some great insight into Cal Poly and how they're doing their thing down there. But the Big West canceled women's volleyball this year, so we don't have any update for what they're doing. Another great interview was with Coach Chris Thomas from University of Illinois, Big Ten program that got to the Final Four just a couple of years ago. They've kind of been rebuilding, but they went out, they played Iowa State, and they took them down in 2 days in a row. And so they've started off the season 2-0. So congratulations to Chris Thomas, University of Illinois, starting the season off strong. We don't have any updates really from Allie Daly at UC Davis. Looks like Beach, they're also in the Big West. We'll see if the Beach season gets going here at some point. I know there's some crossover with some of those players, and so they may be trying to figure out how they're going to make that work. Division III is not getting started yet, so we've talked to Laverne coach Jeff Hendershot and McKendree coach Chris McDermott, and so they're not quite getting started yet either. Hopefully there'll be some update for them. Coach Nikki Sandlin at McKendree, though, they're getting started. Their men's program started off, and they started off with a strong win versus Lincoln Memorial University, 3-0 win. And their women's program will get started here too, so we'll see how she juggles going back and forth with those two teams. I'm sure they're going to come out really strong. And then lastly, we interviewed University Pacific strength coach who works very closely with the volleyball team, and University Pacific volleyball is obviously close to both Kevin and I, and they unfortunately didn't get to start this last weekend. Their games got canceled against St. Mary's. So anyways, we'll keep updating on these teams plus more as we move forward and we kind of find what we want to do. Look for us doing some of these live events on YouTube also to try and talk volleyball a little bit. This week, though, in physical education, we got a new interview coming up for you. Going to talk, going to have a lot of information coming out about how to get hired as a physical education teacher, and also looking at, the value of not only going through student teaching, but also taking on student teachers. And then we have a great volleyball interview this week. I was very impressed. Wave director Brennan Dean, who is the owner and director of WAVE and the WAVE women's program. He definitely knows how to take care of his coaches. He knows how to create a culture that's going to sustain families and players. And it's a great insight for anybody who is in the volleyball club coaching world, whether you're a parent or you're a player, even to get some insight into how a really great club is run, or if you're a coach. Again, I think he lays out exactly what you should be looking for as a coach in a director. A lot of these clubs that they need coaches, and so you don't have to just necessarily settle for something. You can really look to try and find a place that has a culture that fits your coaching style, and so it's just a great it's a great look at that. So that's what we got coming up this week. I'm excited to put those out, and if you can follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube. Again, some of these interviews I know are long on YouTube to just watch a video, but we have other shorter videos on there. We're going to continue the Bounce Back series that I've been putting out, both on Instagram TV and then also on YouTube and the podcast side on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. But anyways, that's what we're up to this week. So looking forward to trying to keep growing this, keep getting some great interviews. We got a couple more interviews that we'll be doing this week that'll go out the following week, and so I'm very excited. If there's anybody on here who's got any insight into physical education, into volleyball, who wants to be able to share their platform and talk with us, we'd love to try and be able to share it and grow. We're doing everything we can to try and grow this, and again, just put good information out, share information about physical education, about positive coaching, about volleyball coaching, about coaching really any sport. So anyways, also a big shout out, long time Patriot hater, I guess, of the New England Patriots, but I do have to admire Tom Brady and his work ethic and what he's been able to accomplish over his career. And also, I thought about it a lot when watching that game and seeing Aaron Rodgers go up against him. Every commercial break, Aaron Rodgers on a commercial. Tom Brady doesn't pop up on that stuff. I don't know if that has any correlation or not, but I do kind of appreciate some of these pro athletes who just kind of go about their business, playing the game hard, and then you don't necessarily have to see them all the time on TV in other realms. So, I think that's kind of cool, and good luck to both the Patriots and the Chiefs in a couple weeks in the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you guys. We'll try and jump on here live more often. Same thing, we're setting up this live streaming on YouTube, so hopefully we can set some of these up. We'll put out some times and dates when we're going to be on here, and hopefully we can create some conversation. So have a great rest of your Monday. Check out our Bounce Back series, and look forward to sending out lots of great content this week.